Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everybody doing today? We have today Monday Moms Matters, and our topic today is intimacy after children, reconnecting as husband and wife. So, before we begin, inshallah, you all can respond in the Q&A. How are you all doing today? Alhamdulillah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm actually in a good position. I'm really feeling well. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair for asking. So, let's begin. One of the common problems I see in married couples is they, over time, become mommy and daddy only. That's all they are. They're mommy and daddy. They are no longer husband and wife. And it is problematic because it's important to remember that even when you become a mom, you are still a wife. You're still a woman. And it's not about him only, it's about you too. Because by the way, when I'm saying intimacy, I'm not only talking about sexual intimacy, I'm talking about any type of connection, any type of intimacy in your relationship with your partner. So we have to remember that it's not about only him, it's about you too. You still have rights as a human being, you still have rights as a woman. He still has rights. Your marriage should not pay the price for your motherhood. And this is something that, for some reason, our Indo-Pak culture really promotes, wherein mom just gives up herself to the point that she just vanishes in the thin air. Like, no, that's not healthy, that's not Islamic, and that's most definitely not going to save your marriage in long term. So, far too many times we see that situation wherein the women are simply pouring every ounce they got into the children to the point that there is nothing left in the marriage. Marriage is just left to run on empty. And how far does a car go without any gas? We all know it stops at some point. And then we can't really complain that, hey, this is what's happening in my marriage, that's what happens in my marriage, because we let it run on empty. We women got so busy with the motherhood aspect that we forgot the wifehood and the womanhood, right? It shouldn't be like you have to forsake one to get the other one or to give the other one its rights. You have to learn to balance it out. We all have to learn to balance it out. If we are struggling to balance it out, then we need to get the help necessary to balance it out. It's not an excuse that I don't know. It's not an excuse that nobody taught me. Now you are listening to this, which means you can listen, you can learn new things. So take charge of it. Letting things slide under the excuse that I didn't know. For the past, yeah, but for the present and future, no. You have the opportunity to learn and make it better. And this becomes more critical when the husband you have right now with you is not your children's biological father. And subhanAllah, many times I have seen sisters that have this fear. And I've seen this even with when they are with their children's biological father, wherein they have like, hey, am I abandoning my children if I remarry or if I'm emotionally invested in my husband? Because, mind you, to be able to build a connection, you need to invest your time and energy. And to be able to invest your time and energy in one place, you have to let go of the other place because we only have like whatever amount of energy you got. Let's just say this is what you have, right? Now, either you put all in one place or you take some of it and you put it somewhere else. So, yes, that energy you could invest in your children, but so you have to decide to take it away from there and put it somewhere else. Same with the time. You can use all your awake time only for your certain relationships, or you can give every relationship its due, right? So, yes, the time and energy you have to give to your husband comes from the big chunk you got. But in that process, are you truly abandoning your children? That's the fear that leads many, many sisters to the point that they don't even recognize. They start emotionally withdrawing from their husbands. They start this slow erosion of intimacy. They just slowly walk away emotionally from the man because they just want to focus on their children because they're afraid that if they were to focus on their husband and their marriage, it will mean that they abandon their children. And we have to understand that's not true. That's not true. Healthy boundaries are not selfish, they are necessary. And nurturing your marriage is not betrayal for your children, towards your children, rather, it is actually giving them a gift. Because when we take care of our marriage, through that, we take care of our children. Because reality is, a child doesn't just need a mother, a child needs a happy home, a healthy home. And the healthy home comes from two-parent household. Yes, if Allah tests somebody and they are in a single parent household dynamic, may Allah make it easy for all of us. However, we must not idealize it. If that's the position Allah has put you in, Alhamdulillah, hada min fadli Rabbi, we do not complain and we move on. But we never idealize that. Ideally, men need women, women need men. We need two-parent households. And when those two people come together and bring a home that's a healthy home, that helps children. That's the core principle I want everybody to take home today. That a healthy marriage creates a healthy home. Our children don't just need the mom or her sacrifices. They need a healthy home. And to have a healthy home, they need an environment that is full of love, safety, emotional security. And that needs to be modeled daily. How do you model it? You model it by having that in your relationship with your partner. Through that relationship, your children learn how do we communicate in a healthy manner? How do we do conflict resolution? What does peace feel like? When mom and dad are okay, the home feels okay to the children. If mom and dad are not okay, everybody can sense the tension. I'm an Indo pocket, right? We can we can sense the energies. Our hypervigilance is on the next level because we grew up with those things, knowing that hey, this silence is not peace. This silence is chaos. And subhanallah, I feel like many times people don't understand that just being quiet is not peaceful. Sometimes being quiet is the harshest thing you can do to somebody because in that moment they needed words, they needed reassurance. In that moment they needed clarity, but you chose to keep them confused. So, no, not all silence is peace. Sometimes it's chaos. And children can sense the energies. So, when we have this session today, as I'm having it, I want moms to recognize that you do have rights towards yourself. And when you build your relationship, you rebuild your relationship with your partner, you're not taking away from your kids. You're actually giving them. And it's important that even the sisters who got remarried and their children, and they are with a man who is not biological father of their children, you have to learn to develop healthy boundaries wherein you don't abandon your children, but you also don't abandon your spouse or your marriage. Men are not just ATM machine. We don't marry a man just because we need the roof over our head and the money in our pockets and then treat him like who cares? No. Any dynamic is not supposed to be serving only one or two people. It's supposed to be healthy for everybody involved. And subhanallah, as a women's coach, I would say that as much as my focus is on women, I am a Muslim sister to all my Muslim brothers too. So, no way should it be like a situation is healthy for the wifey, but it's toxic for the husband. No, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a self serving dynamic. We all have to aim to get towards Allah. And yes, a lot of men do need emotional intimacy, not just sexual intimacy. Yes, sexual intimacy is a topic and everybody wants to get to that, and I am not denying you can put that in this too. But I want to keep it a little bit broader today and I want to talk about emotional intimacy because men need emotional intimacy as well. Men need somebody who can come and talk to them too. Men need someone who can, at the end of the day, rub their neck and say, hey, love, how was your day? Not just sit there and tell them that, hey, I need you to help me with the baby bath. So it's important to recognize that when we pour into our marriages, we are pouring into our children. With that said, do you guys have any questions or do we go ahead with the practical steps? We got three practical steps I want to give you all, but before I do that, let me see if you guys have any questions, inshallah. Going one, going two, and going three. Okay, so I'm assuming you got no questions. And I'm gonna go ahead with the practical steps, inshallah. Practical step number one, evaluate your relationship. Pay attention to his complaints and comments. As hard as it can be, those complaints and comments are useful information. That's data right there, okay? And they offer you insight as to where your relationship is feeling strained, neglected, or misunderstood. You have to be able to look at that data in a very scientific way. And if you're getting emotionally regulated, if you're starting to become defensive, if you're starting to become overwhelmed, if you're becoming emotionally flooded, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's rather a sign that you need support. And don't hesitate to get support. I always tell people, don't hesitate. It's not a slight on you if you need help. I know in our communities, we have made this whole mental health and everything as like, listen, if you go this route, then you messed up. No, we all need help. Just because you need help in this season doesn't mean that you will never be able to get out of it. No, alhamdulillah, I think most people are doing good overall. They just have a block and they just need help in unpacking that block. And when that block is removed, they are ready to get up and go. So don't hesitate to get help to just get remove that block and then walk, because then you're just keeping yourself stuck for forever because you didn't get the help. So anyway, back to the point. What helps with this whole process when you are doing this with somebody is that that person can help you. That coach can actually help you talk about those things without turning your husband into an enemy or framing him in a way that you start resenting him or creating some sort of a dynamic for you that actually makes it more unhealthy as opposed to healthy. So when you do this evaluation of your relationship, try to do it in a very regulated way, but if you struggle, don't hesitate to seek help. And remember, his complaints and comments are data, okay? That's useful information. It's not something that you just ignore or take it negatively. But before I go to the next step, I want to go to the question that I have here now. How do you balance the sexual aspect? My husband gets frustrated. He can't touch me the way he wants anytime because the kids are around. Mm. Now, give me the example of he can't touch me. How does he want to touch you? How does he want to touch you that he cannot do around the kids? Because as far as I'm concerned, you can do a whole lot around the kids. Well, I think it, okay. I have to be careful because of what is written. Okay, so slap on the butt part. Okay, I think my personal opinion, can be done. As far as children copying, children can be taught that, hey, listen, this is something that mommy and daddy do. Daddy does to mommy. You cannot do that to mommy. And I think in a way, we need to teach children that, listen, um, this is a dynamic we both can have, nobody else can have with me. Your husband can kiss you. I truly feel children should know that the husband can kiss the wifey, but nobody else can. My husband can have lip to lip with me. My kids can't. So I know people have different levels to how far they want to go with it. And even touching here and there, I truly think um, those things actually help the relationship in terms of what you are modeling to the children that, hey, listen, when you get your spouse, you will be able to enjoy them in these ways. which should I at this point where we are currently, wherein Muz app has people that are in their 30s and never married. I don't know how that happens, subhanallah. I truly think it would be a good idea we model to children that, hey, listen, you should try to get married soon because then you will have a companion with whom you can have fun like this. So I personally don't see anything wrong in the slap on the butt. Okay. Um, yeah, that's how I see it. Does that help? I hope it does. But ultimately, it's something that you both have to decide. We kiss in front of them, but I worry sometimes it's too much in front of my 3-year old. He will also try to grab my breast. That's where you guys have to teach him. Like, listen, I don't think a normal Muslim man wants to have a full-blown session in front of his kids. So I'm definitely sure he's not trying to have that. As far as foreplay and grabbing and these and that things, I truly think that we have to recognize that everybody has a different love language. And if your partner's love language is physical touch and you withhold it or you don't let it happen with you, I I like for women to reflect then how would you feel if he goes and does it with somebody else? Um, so I'm not saying that's for you. I'm just saying we have to be a little bit practical here. We live in the United States of America. Men are going out, um, seeing a lot of things. But how many I allow him when the kids are away? Honestly, it's something that needs to be discussed. If it, I personally am of the belief that unless it's a full-blown thing going on and clothing is our eyes being shown and stuff, as long as we are not doing that and we are in our limits to some extent, a little bit here and there is acceptable as far as I'm concerned. I am not a alima. I'm not giving any fatwa. I'm not a mufti. So I'm not giving an Islamic ruling. I'm telling you what I think. We are living in the United States of America. Men are going out and seeing a lot of things. And men wanting to do it with his wife is much better than and kids are away. See, the thing is that if you have a house full of kids, I don't know how many kids you got, sister, but if you have a house full of kids, it can be complicated. But ultimately, it may be something that you may want to talk between each other because, as you're saying, he's frustrated. He gets frustrated. So it's definitely something that you need to discuss. If it's getting him frustrated, that's something you need to discuss, inshallah. I hope that helps. There's no right or wrong answer. There is practically talk between each other and figure out what works best for you guys. And children definitely need to learn that Baba can do this to Mama, nobody else can do it. Um, and like things like that. So yeah. Wayaki, wayaki. Practical step number 2. So the first one was to evaluate your relationship honestly and look at his complaints and comments in a very objective way, see it as a data, and if you're struggling and you are getting in a lot of emotions, then get the help necessary and do the evaluation with somebody beside you, a coach, a therapist, whatever works for you. Number 2, focus on one change at a time. No, you cannot just, a lot of people like think that you can, sorry, I need to put my phone on mute. You can't really just go ahead and change the whole relationship 360. You can't have chaos all the time and then expect peace in the next day. Nah, it takes one thing at a time. It can look like maybe just changing how you speak. Instead of demanding, you can go into requesting. Instead of questioning, you can go into requesting. Instead of saying, "Hey, what did you book that appointment?" As opposed to, "Hey, love, can you please book that appointment for me?" If he says, "Good, alhamdulillah," most likely he's already done. So he lets you know differently. So it's the tone with which we approach him. Um, so yeah, definitely one thing at a time. Number 3, anchor your effort in a higher intention. This is something very important. إنما الأعمال بالنية. No matter what you do, If your intention is solid, you turn it into a good deed. When I say no matter what you do, I mean in all the halals, nothing haram, understandably. So the intention that I would go with this one would be I'm investing in my relationship for the sake of Allah. Allah is placing barakah in this relationship. Allah is going to place barakah in this effort because we can do everything. But if we don't have the barakah from Allah, that effort is can be wasted. So we need to remember that we are doing it for the sake of Allah and Allah is going to place barakah. Remember when it comes to marriages, homes, keeping a family together, keeping mothers in a good place, keeping fathers in a good place, um, it's a job, it's a work that requires a lot of effort, and we have shaitan constantly after us so that we don't do it, so that we actually break apart, so that our things are all over the place. So, yeah, put that effort, trusting Allah and believing that you're doing it for the sake of Allah. Now, mindset shift for today, I want us to do is instead of thinking that you are choosing your husband over your children, go to you are strengthening your marriage for your children. So, as opposed to the whole concept of I'm choosing him or my marriage over my children, go to no, I'm actually building this, I'm strengthening this for them because of the benefit they will receive. Inshallah. And with that, I think we are close to end. And before I go in the teaching points, I want to say that remember that a stable, loving marriage actually brings to children emotional safety. It brings to them a sense of peace because as much as our children are outside, when they come home, they sense the energy. And a relationship that models to them what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like will help them with their marriage. So you are really doing it for them too when you pour time and energy into your marriage. Before I go into the wrap up and key teaching points, I want to read this comment I got here. I'm preparing for marriage. It's a long story, but in short, I faced sexual abuse when younger by an extended family member. I feel as if I'm healing after years of efforts and preparation of marriage. However, I have a question. I have forgiven the man who abused me, and he is a divorcee with a child about to get married again. He has changed. Is it okay if I don't say anything and hide his sin? Okay, I will read this again. However, I have a question. I have forgiven the man who abused me, and he is a divorcee with a child about to get married again. He is has changed. Is it okay if I don't say anything and hide his sin? Sister, are you looking for Islamic fatwa or answer on that one? If you're looking for that, then you will have to contact an alim or a sheikh. Um, because this does not seem like you're looking for any emotional help yourself. You are not asking me if you can forgive him or not. You're not asking me about your marriage. You're purely asking me um if you should disclose this matter or not. Um and whether you should hide or disclose his sins. So it's a topic that I think you need to take to an imam. It's not a topic for me. I can tell you what I think, but I'm not an alima. I'm a nafs transformation coach. But I would definitely say, I would definitely ask you, why do you think it is still a concern on your mind? Why are you still thinking about that? That's something I would like to know if you would want to talk on that. With that said, let's go to the wrap up and key teaching points. Yes, I wrote them down here. Number one, motherhood does not cancel womanhood or wifehood. Remember that part. A lot of women have children and they just abandon themselves and they abandon their marriage. It's not healthy. Number two, healthy boundaries protect both your children and your marriage. Number three, a strong marriage creates a stable home environment that children need. Number four, change happens gradually. Focus on progress, not perfection. And through the programs I've seen, like a lot of people are like, give me instant results. No, it doesn't happen. You have to be appreciative and grateful to Allah for each and every teeny tiny bit of progress you get. And He increases you in whatever you're grateful for. So be grateful to Him for teeny tiny every bit of progress you achieve. And when done for the sake of Allah, your effort is never wasted. And subhanAllah, as mothers, at least in the Pak moms, we take pride in how much I sacrificed for my children. But we have to remember our children don't need a mother that was sacrificed like a goat. Our children need a mother who was emotionally whole, who was grounded, who was connected. And she wasn't just a mother, she was a wife and a woman as a whole. She didn't abandon any parts of herself under the idea that she's pouring into her children. May Allah help us all, and may Allah allow us to put our best foot in our relationships, especially our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with Allah. Ameen. Any questions? If there are any questions or comments, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and end this. All good? Alhamdulillah. By the way, the sister who posted the question with regards to what do you call it? Disclosing the brother's sin. Are you okay if I ask that question to somebody and give you the response? I can, you don't need to disclose your name to me. I can just drop it in the group. I think you are in the growth mindset group, right? In the community. So I can just drop the answer there if you want. I can contact an imam, get the answer, and drop it there if you want. Let me know, inshallah. Okay. Jazakumullahu khairan kathiran. May Allah give us all khair in this dunya and akhirah. Inshallah. See you guys on Wednesday. Assalamu alaikum.